Hello everyone, and welcome back from the weekend, and welcome to session 2. Great job in all the work you did in session 1. Appreciate your hard work. Now let's take a look at what's due here in session 2. Here in session 2 we're going to go over chapter 2, which is over developing strong listening and communication skills. As in almost any job, listening is one of the most important skills for us to be able to complete our jobs. And as a support technician or support person in the field of IT, it is extremely important to develop this skill, and specifically being an active listener, which involves participating in conversation by not only just listening to the general conversation of your customer, but asking questions and responding to the speaker as needed. Make sure that you really work on this active listening skill. This requires us to have a lot of discipline and a lot of willingness to not only comprehend and retain what our customers are saying, but to actually be engaged in the conversation so that we can best provide the support our customers need of us. Now, there are a lot of factors out there that prevent us from getting or obtaining those good listening skills and being able to be a good listener, such as distractions and interruptions. As you read the book, you'll hear of or read of a complex called third ear syndrome. We'll also talk about jumping ahead, emotional filters, mental side trips, and then general talking. As in any field, it's very easy to lose focus, so make sure that you are working on being a good active listener. In doing so, you'll learn how to minimize those distractions I just mentioned and put your focus and your attention on the needs of your customer. Now, when you're reading this chapter, there are really two parts to this chapter. What I've already kind of introduced to you is the power of active listening is the first part of our chapter, and the second part is overall communication or communicating with our customers. Now, if you've ever had a communication class before, you've probably heard this definition that communication is simply just the exchange of information. Now, this exchange can occur in different ways. It can be in listening. It could be through speaking, as well as this communication be exchanged between each other through writing. Now, as an effective communicator, it's imperative that we learn through different techniques how to establish rapport with our customers and gain their trust. Trust is key. One skill I've used throughout my career is to simply use a person's name. Not even just in the general workforce, but I use it out in public. Let's say I go to a restaurant and I will use the server's name. By doing that, it's showing a way of respect, and I tend to get a little bit better service sometimes because of that. I've had other people make fun of me for it, but as a service professional, I find that it is a good way of building that rapport with the other individual. So after you've read the chapter, let's see what else we're going to do for this session. If we scroll down in Blackboard, we'll see, yes, we definitely need to read the second chapter over developing strong listening and communication skills. I've included the PowerPoint here for you to be able to take notes. And these taking notes as you're reading the chapter or after you've read the chapter will help identify those areas that you may need to go back and look at or take a few notes on so that it triggers better in your memory when you go to take your Chapter 2 review question set and your quiz. So once you're ready, you've read the material, you've maybe taken some notes, go on down here, you see you have the review questions, which is not timed and does contain 14 questions that you can take and to prepare you for your Chapter 2 quiz. You do need to take this. Just know that your highest score on these review questions will be calculated into Blackboard. So if you do bad on it and then you take it again, you got a better score, you take it a third time and you don't do so well, the highest of those scores will be what's captured in your Blackboard gradebook. Once you've done your review, now you should definitely be ready to take your Chapter 2 quiz. This is a timed quiz though, not like the review set. This has 15 minutes to complete 15 multiple choice questions, so make sure you're well prepared prior to taking this one attempt timed quiz. Alright, this week you'll have your first case project to do, and the information for this is on page 81 and 82 of your text, and you're going to go to the hands-on project section and complete projects 4, 5, and 8 for this case project. Case project number 4 is titled Pay Attention When You Are the Customer. Read through that information And for the situation, answer all of those three questions in a paragraph format as one part of this case project that you'll submit in a Word document. This will be an APA format. You'll need a title page, and you can see that you do need to include a works cited for any references that does include the book, as well as external references that you may find you need to put in there to kind of reinforce some of the concepts or points that you're making in your paper. If we look at hands-on project number 5, this is over avoiding distractions, and you simply need to go back in and review that list of distractions that prevent good listening that you find while you're reading the chapter. Select 2 of those that you can honestly say have influenced you in the past in a job and continue to affect you in your current job, or maybe something you do in life that you can see that those are distractions, and then prepare a list of 3 things that you can do to help minimize the impact of those 2 distractions that you listed for your case project number 5. So include that here in the single Word document for the case project 2 here. And then lastly, number 8 is titled Assess the Effectiveness of Nonverbal Communication. Pick one day over this session and just kind of take note of the various nonverbal ways that you see or can observe people trying to communicate. Then write just a single paragraph describing 2 or 3 of those nonverbal cues that you detected and that you found to be effective in the way that they were trying to communicate. And then write a second paragraph describing how 2 or 3 of those nonverbal cues you found are ineffective, or maybe even you'll find them annoying. Then write your final third paragraph for case project number 8 describing any type of conclusions you've drawn from the observations of all those nonverbal cues that you observed in that day. Now, I said this does need to be an APA format, as all of your case projects will be, but you do not need to do an abstract. If you have questions about APA formatting, how to do in-text citations, how to do your reference page for your book, or even other sources that you're getting, use the Purdue OWL website, and I'll show you that now. Here is the site. You can see the link to get there here. And you can go down and use this site to look up APA formatting. There's examples. You can see that here's an APA guide you can click on. This is just a great resource whenever you're doing a paper using APA format, which is the approved formatting style that we use here at Ivy Tech. So take a look at this, and there's all kinds of resources here: how to do in-text citations, how to do your reference list of different types. There's an APA paper that you can look at as a kind of a formalized example of everything that it takes to do an APA formatting paper. Just note that you do not have to do the abstract. I don't care about having a high level overview of your paper. I'm going to actually read your paper, so I will know what's in that paper. So just make sure you're using the basics, and make sure you're using proper grammar, and don't just turn it in without reading it first. Alright, if we scroll on down here, after you've completed your case project, clicked here and submitted it, then you will see that I've just included a couple informational websites just to give you guys some other tools to look at the concepts and kind of build onto those. So that's all these are. You're not required to look at these, just giving you more tools for your IT toolkit to use for more research on some of the concepts from the chapter, or maybe even bookmark these and use these in your everyday IT world. So just want to give you guys extra tools to use outside of the textbook. Well, that's it for session 2. Make sure if you have any questions, feel free to contact me by email, rmartinjr@ivytech.edu, and I'm happy to help you. If you're ever on campus, feel free to stop by. Let's all have a great session 2, everyone. Thank you.